It's a Friday edition of the REKAP Lunch Hour with Guff. Me, Ryan McGuffey. It's all brought to you by our fine folks and partners at Hooters, original Hooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations nearest you. Happy Friday, everybody, on a very hot day in the city of Chicago, Illinois. Appreciate you being here, as always, as we close the week down here on the Lunch Hour. It's been a lively one, certainly with the Cubs talk and the Cubs chatter. They got a big win the other day. Big series this weekend in St. Louis. I think it's an opportunity for the Cubs to get right, to get healthy, to get going again with a big series against the St. Louis Cardinals. And then the other big news today, that the Bears will sit Caleb Williams and other starters Sunday against the Dolphins. How do you feel about it? I don't love it, to be honest with you. I see certainly there's positives in Caleb Williams and starters not playing because you risk injury anytime you go out there. I hate that whole playing scared and all that stuff. You would think that you'd want to see some of that on game tape, but I think the way that Ben Johnson explained it, with the Dolphins in town to have joint practices both today and tomorrow, that they're looking at their opportunity there to get game reps and get their starters on tape so they can go from there and then evaluate other positions as roster cutdowns start to begin later this month. And you have a big plethora of players playing in camp right now, and you're trying to make decisions. I'm always a fan of playing who you got. I want to see what you guys say. The chat is already off and running here. Okay. Already off and running. And let's go and see what we got. Of course, the Godfather, as he should, starts it out. December 5th, Hoyer said we will spend and go all in at the deadline if we are in it. Under the luxury tax, then under the luxury tax. Now, two liars, Ricketts and Hoyer. Happy Friday to my friend, the Godfather. We stinks. By the way, of course, it's all brought to you by Hooters, original Hooters.com, order.hooters.com. If you're looking for a lunch option on a Friday, take a breather. Get it delivered to your door, to your office. Let's go. What's up, Swayze? Got into the recap publicly, but I didn't think it's the one with you and Cap in it. Peeved. Here's the deal with that, and we're going to get to the Renegade fantasy. It's okay. We are going to fill as many 12-team leagues as possible, okay? We're filling as many 12-team leagues as possible. So we're all going head-to-head regardless of where if you're in one league that looks like, well, where's Guff and Cap or whoever, that's okay. We are all in it together. It's last person standing, not in your 12-team league. There's playoffs from the ones that we have. And trust me, when all is said and done, you are playing against us, Swayze, so no worries there. Still have the Bellinger money in Ricketts' pocket. Once again, the loyal Cub fans are lied to. Thomas, the Cubs have favorable pitching matchups this weekend on paper. Doesn't mean much because it's baseball. Hopefully it works out in our favor. And of course, the offense needs to get going as well. To the Godfather, blatant lies. It's about saving $1 from the jump. Despicable. Godfather very active on this Friday. I guess we'll have to settle for Gallagher Way. A new scoreboard, no top players. Wait until next offseason until they lie to us again. Swayze, it's easy to lie to Cub fans because they continue to pack Wrigley. They want fun and drinks. Winning comes last. The fun and drinks have happened plenty of times over at Wrigley Field. The Ricketts family doesn't deserve Cub fans who fill the park and spend money in Rickettsville. Hey, there's Becky. Becky has gotten to become like Godfather with her daily I don't trust Hoyer anymore, very similar to the luxury tax. If they were playing better, it probably would not now, says Swayze. Breck Bear, my guy. Happy Friday, brother. And my dudes, Breck, love you, kid. Landon, welcome into the recap of the Bears joint practices. We will have a recap on Sunday's game, I know, because the starters aren't playing and stuff. People may be like, who cares? There'll be something that comes of that. There'll be something that maybe the offense still goes off, right? And then there'll be people going, I knew Tyson Bagent was better. No one trusts Hoyer, the real Phil Simms. Cubs to win 1, 2, 3 out of 100. I think they'll take 2 out of 3, which is, I've always said, win the series. Swayze, let's not forget, they didn't do much to improve the team after they won the World Series year after year. For 3 years straight, they won less and less games. But hey, they saved a few bucks, Phil. Godfather definitely needs to be on the payroll. Preach, big dog. Thomas, hopefully with the win on Wednesday and being off yesterday, it'll result with the early season Cubs that we all miss. Landed. We'll see what happens to Kyle Tucker as well today. We saw after the program yesterday, for those of you asking about Chase Meidroth, that Meidroth ended up going on the 10-day IL with that thumb injury. We'll see what happens when Kyle Tucker and the Cubs put their lineup out today in St. Louis. Jed better be ready for some tough questions at Cubs convention, unless they pull a White Sox and cancel it, that is. We're already looking forward to January here. We're canceling the rest of the year. Pablo watching from the mountains in Medellin, Colombia, as I end week 2 here. Hope the whole Recap fam is having a great week. I want to go on vacation with Pablo, man. 2-week vacations. Pablo and Breck Bear. Those two guys have the best vacation planners that I've ever seen. You know, work less, pay more. I love it. And by the way, it's all get the hell out of the country. I like that all. Happy birthday to Anthony Rizzo. I saw that earlier on the old X platform. Just because the Brewers are playing well, just guarantees a spot in October. Nothing more, nothing less. Quite frankly, though, that's nothing more, nothing less than whoever gets to October. They'll never cancel Cubs convention. Need that money. Cubs need a streak, something we've yet to see from them. It's crazy how other teams, lesser teams, can go 7 to 8 game streaks, but the Cubs can't. Make it make sense. I will say this to combat that, Swayze, is that they haven't been swept in a three game series. So I think there's 2 teams in baseball that can say that. So while, yes, you may have a 7 or 8 game, like look at the Cleveland Guardians who are in town tonight to play the White Sox, lost 11 in a row, and now are fighting their way back into the wild card picture. The Cubs have not had that type of stretch. They have not looked good at times, but then you go back and look over a 20-game sample and they're 10-10. You know, when you look at what the Cubs are since here, you go best record in MLB since the All-Star break, even since June 1st. Let's go since June 1st. This is what's crazy when you look it up. Okay. The Cubs are 30-26 since June 1st. Not great. It's the 10th best record in all of baseball. So even when they're middling, they're still winning more games than other teams. Do I think they can honestly re-sign Tucker? Yes. The question is, what's the willingness at both camps and what's the number? I definitely think it's over $400 million. I definitely believe that. Definitely believe that. Thomas, 123 wins. I think he said 1, 2, or 3 wins, Thomas. Hey, Jordan, there's not enough games left in the regular season or the post to get to that many. I think he was talking about how many wins this weekend. I bet he already had a pre-recorded response to the questions. We were all in. It's teams that just wanted too much. Our talent was good enough to win. You know the usual. Agreed. The problem with Chicago sports is that people always want to flex about the past, focus on winning championships in the present. Mediocrity in the third largest city is unacceptable. I think the fans are all on the same page there, Phil. I don't think there's a fan in Chicago that's going, you know what? Remember, isn't it cool the Bulls are pulling out the 30th anniversary jerseys of the 96? No. It sucks that you have to go back to that point to find your happy place. Until then, there's a serious shift in a winning mentality. Will be the same sad song and dance. Why the hell is Caleb not playing Sunday? I don't want to hear about 9-on-9 reps. He needs to be out there for at least a series. If a better and much more polished Joe Burrow can get out there, he can. I'm glad you brought up Burrow. Told my son last night, I went down there and go, hey, Joe Burrow. By the way, I'm finally watching the series quarterback. I love it. It makes me love Burrow even more. Burrow goes 9 of 10 for 123 and 2 tutties last night. Jamar Chase played. He had 4 for 77 and a touchdown. Talk about being on the same page and getting your reps. Rizzo just spoke about them not doing much to improve the team after the World Series or at the trade deadline. He said it would have juiced them up. See a pattern? Of course. There are times when the team looks around and goes, we need reinforcements. And that includes the manager. I think Craig Counsell would have loved to have seen reinforcements. Happy Friday, Kyle. Depends on the joint practices, but I say give the starters at least 1 to 2 series. I agree. Implementing new systems on offense and defense. It's good to get some game time action in to work the bugs and correct mistakes, and with the crowd, etc. Happy birthday, Rizzo, one of my favorite Cubs ever. The dead Swayze. I said the same thing after this current trade deadline. I think players expect a trade deadline to give them a boost. When you fail, that sends a message. I cannot imagine how the players feel knowing that the Cubs failed. At some point, though, you do have to look in the mirror and do something about it. You go, this is the group we got. Let's go. Unless Rizzo was taking jabs at the current deadline, but I do not know. Boyd's 11-4 with the 2-3-4. Need more power, more fastball. But Boyd's not the problem. Phil, the only way to punish Chicago owners is to punish ourselves by not watching the teams on TV, going to games, buying merch. Money is the only thing they understand. And that's the problem. I said that earlier this week, is that sending the message to owners is punishing yourselves in some ways. Dead, I'm afraid if nobody spends, then the owners will cry poor and say they cannot fix or buy players because of lack of revenue. A real dumb catch-22. Keep enjoying a vacation. To Pablo, bet the view from the mountains are amazing. Waiting for the hour therapy session. I'm always here for you. Definitely take everyone's copay. It's hot here in Tulsa, hot here in Chicago in the 90s. Right now, the Cubs think because they DFA'd Ryan because of pitching, we are having a hard time bullpen. The bullpen's not doing well. Tom Ricketts wouldn't make it in Philly, New York, LA, or even Houston. San Diego is a small market and makes the big moves. I hate the smell of Clark and Addison. From now on, Godfather will be known as the Wrangler because when we get too far out ahead of our skis on these front offices in Chicago, he brings us back to reality. Amen. Godfather, keep up. It's the front. Hey, Godfather, let's go. Come on in, my friend. Have the floor. It's yours. Look at everybody giving Godfather all of the floor, all of the praise, as they should. The entire area they bought up is a revenue maker. Hell, they were trying to partially buy a soccer team. I mean, spend on the team you currently own and make that return on the investment better. My guy Lip, what's up? Excited to watch our depth players on Sunday, especially Luther Burden. You know what Cap always says? This is sick. Jed Hoyer doesn't fix a team. Overall, his job's all about cheap trades. Someone replaced him. Please go get a left-handed pitcher. Jordo, unfortunately, I'm telling you, man, there's no one to go get. The trade deadline's come and gone. The trade deadline's come and gone. One of the best rivalries in Major League Baseball starts tonight, Cubs-Cardinals. Come on, Cubbies. Want to be able to say, take that, St. Louis. Guff, you growing a mustache. I already had. I haven't touched anything since shaving it all off the other day. So now it's starting to stubble back. It'll all come back. Had to change the look. Clean slate. Have that same shirt at home, Kyle. Love it, my friend. More to come as the Bears get going. They have to take 2 of 3. By the way, Clark Street Sports. There's a whole recap line of merch. Make sure you go there and grab yours today. Have to take 2 of 3. I believe they have to take 2 out of 3. Lame. They need the snaps. Talking about the starters. Agreed. Breck loves the Guff stash. He's seen all variations of it. I've been watching these garbage owners lie to me since about 1958, and I'll tell you honestly, Ricketts is the biggest liar of them all. I'm fed up. You should enjoy your team. Impossible with cheapo. Think about that. And that's with a World Series. There's Clyde. Always ignore him. And the Northwest Indiana Hooters. My people in Portage. You know how I feel about your Portage. Unfortunately, they're not part of the 11 Chicagoland locations just yet as Hooters looks to expand. Jess, I know it's disappointing, Guff, but after watching Sean Susum have a career-ending injuries with the Steelers during the Hall of Fame game, I'm all for holding off playing key starters right now. Yeah, it's one of those catch-22s. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? The second a guy goes down, you're like, they should have never played. Then they don't play, and you're like, they needed the reps in week 1. I get it. Clyde, you're getting a question. We're not even ignoring you as a group anymore. He wants to know what your favorite Indiana Hooters location is. Mark says Cubs about to turn it around this weekend. I do think this is a really good spot for the Cubs. I really do. I thought in-game training was possible for learning for the Ben Johnson offense for Caleb Wood. He's going to play in the preseason. He's just not going to play this week. Landon's coming at Clyde. Clyde's coming back. Yes, he's at work. My guy, good to have you back. From here on out, I want to be referred to as Frank Drebin. Police Squad. Well, change your name, my friend. I'll forget that. I don't trust the Cubs owners handcuffing the president and GM because you cried poor. Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo. Portage, Cherville, our Clyde's favorite. Portage, Indiana. Yes, got all my money in Portage. Aloha to my guy Rick. The old, it's the breakfast hour. Omelets, over easy, coming to you. I love that Rick hops on here to start his morning every day. Jed thinks he did a good job. Why does anyone think he'll say otherwise? I don't know if I don't think he can honestly look into a camera and say, like, I covered all the bases. I think he's feeling what you're feeling, but he's secure with his extension. 2 preseason games left, and they had a highly physical practice yesterday. I think the concern with Caleb is just premature worrying. Better to worry in 2 weeks than right now. All right, you know, Jess, really well said. I'll buy that. Because of my medication, I cannot drink liquor. A Coke and Hooters cheeseburger will do me nicely. Well, you know, it's all that PTSD the Cubs gave you, unfortunately. Can't have a cocktail. Coke and Hooters cheeseburger will do you well. I hope we get down to Hooters Joliet this year, Godfather. I really do. Breck, the only good thing about preseason football, besides seeing some kids live the dream before they get cut, is the Saturday night NFL games. 100%. Friday night, Guff, I'll be watching both the Cubs and the Sox tonight at the Maryville Hooters. Mango habanero wings and cinnamon pretzel bites. This guy knows the Guff staple. My guy, David. You know, Breck Bear has been to the Maryville Hooters, so we can share that. with you. Susie, we'll get to your comment here in just a minute, but all this Hooters talk has got me thinking about the lunch specials every day from 11 to 3, the OG wings, the boneless wings, the mango habanero, to David's point. Of course, the burger. We know Godfather likes the cheeseburger. Those crab legs are $14.99 all month long, too. And of course, be careful, that long-legged iced tea. Long-legged Long Island. Say that 10 times fast. $8 all month long is the drink of the month, getting you prepped for your fantasy draft. Speaking of which, Hooters is the best place to have your fantasy football drafts. They got everything. They got the original wings. They got the iconic Hooters girls and the coldest beer and the Big Daddy mugs. The Oktoberfest is officially on draft. Dos Equis is officially on draft. The Michelob Ultra, if you're trying to offset your wings by taking care of that beach body that still lingers on until about Labor Day weekend, it's all for you at Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Also, we know that some of you far and wide love the Hooters locations there. Go to any of the Hooters that take care of you. And think about, and I'm trying to get a REKAP Lunch Hour promo code. You should get 10% off. I'm trying to keep pitching that to Hooters. Keep pitching. If you're looking to get it to your doorway, if we've lubed up the palate a little bit, order.hooters.com. They'll deliver it straight to your door, office, home, wherever it might be. We'll take care of you for sure. Let's get to Susie's comment here. Imagine your parents not taking you to sports events because the team owner is rich. Fair enough. Thank God Ricketts didn't buy my favorite soccer team, Chelsea FC, another team they would have ruined. Godfather, where's the money from the Winter Classic, college football, concerts, the great marquee network? It's in Ricketts' pockets. That's where. There is revenue sharing that goes into all of that stuff. But yes, there is profit to be made. And you forgot the Christmas Kindle markets. This year they didn't have that because of the Winter Classic. It's not like they didn't get revenue. I thought some of it was already en route to the last rooftops in Wrigleyville. OD, yelling! Why are we yelling? I agree. Good afternoon. Oh, Phil, I've said good afternoon a few times. As for personalities to have on. Well, I love when Phil gives me ideas to have on guests. We got to start that in the fall. I'd like to have at least a weekly, one show a week where we brought a guest on. Al, how about a show on finances and sports? Maybe we would all understand the true economics of the climate. I don't know. It might be a snooze fest, Alan. People don't want to hear rich people talk about money. But I'm all up for new ideas. Swayze cards are trying to fade off into the oblivion. The question is, can and will the Cubs play well enough to help them get there? I think so. The blueberry lemonade, I'd say this. I had the blueberry lemonade when it was not the special of the month, Clyde. So maybe the blueberry puree, really good stuff with that bullet bourbon. Maybe ask for it when you're there next time. I'll need some of Godfather's medication if they blow it this year and not make the playoffs. I think we all will. Jed did his job. He kept Ricketts under the luxury tax. Godfather, man, I love him on the top rope. Also, Brent Musburger and Jim Nats, not asking much. You're not. Hello, friends. No Hooters in Hawaii. They left years ago. I miss the steamed shrimp. Hawaii, our guy, Rick, if you ever get here, dude, let us know. Hooters on the beach just hits different. Lip Ripper has a different living situation than all of us. That's what happens when you hit those big-time parlays of his from the Mountain West. Don't stop now, Godfather. Keep going. Ricketts and Jed are hopefully watching. I swear, man, it's hard to be an optimist when we trace back. They do the bare minimum, so I thank you for keeping our eyes open, bro. I've been to Hooters in San Diego, says Clyde. That's awesome. Jay, true, I know. Speaking of wetting the palate, I'm hydrated and ready for the weekend. Safety first with lifts and hangovers. Charles, hey, let's give Guff a like for keeping it straight and telling it how it is. Appreciate you for being here, Guff. We need a gambling show on Fridays. Lip, Cap, and I are going to have our picks of the weekend coming up. We're going to have gambling content for you here on the channel. I'm thinking about doing a bet of the day / you know what? Lip, let's continue to discuss, because with college football coming up, there's a lot to love about the gambling weekends. My son's and my future favorite place to eat besides my girlfriend's cooking. Hooters, Clyde. Another tough loss for the Sky last night. They need Angel back like a starving man needs a sandwich. I've heard that line before from a young David Kaplan. Guff, you and Cap need to do another watch along. That was fun last time. That's a good idea. Maybe we'll look into doing that. I'll have to look at the Bears preseason schedule. I know they play their first couple of games on a Sunday, and then who knows if they'll even play the last game. So they go Sunday. They have a night game against the Bills coming up next Sunday night. That'd be kind of fun. And then a Friday night, August 22nd game, Does Caleb play a little bit in that? He probably does. Courtney Cronin and Katie George. I think we can get Courtney on for sure. Hope Ricketts' family enjoys the game tonight from his yacht, says the Godfather. Clyde, the Chicago Sky need a coach who can boost the offense and defense and have them learn to shoot the three-pointer. Sounds like they need to go back to the basics to me. The Chicago Sky. I love that we really cover it all here. Looking at the Chicago Sky right now, by the way, because I need to. They are not doing so hot. They're the third worst team in the league. 8-22, 1-9 their last 10. Guys, I don't know if there's much they could do to turn it around. Bears play Thursday for the last game. Question is, does Caleb, or Friday? Yeah, does Caleb? Guys, I love that. Look at the banter about the WNBA. A lot of you have said so, and I know that Swayze just talked about the Renegade Fantasy League. Folks, it's the first time ever that you can do real-time in-game substitution with fantasy football. Yep, that's true. The Renegade Fantasy Football app. Go to your app store, download the app, go to recap.renegadefantasy.com. Recap.renegadefantasy.com. It'll kick you right to where you need to be. Sign up, join our league, the Recap. Again, to mention what Swayze said earlier, if you don't see me or Cap in your we are filling multiple leagues, and then we're going to have a draft. 5,000 real dollars, $5,000, not fantasy bucks, not vouchers, not coupons. Last man or woman standing in our fantasy league, you are taking home a $5,000 cash prize. That's right. Renegade Fantasy Football. It's like unlike anything you've ever seen before. Your quarterback gets injured in the first quarter. Boom. No problem. Fill those points by bringing in your backup and letting him play the rest of the way. Your running back's having an awful first half. Make the switch. Your receiver, one catch for 9 yards and a fumble. That's not going to cut it. Make a move. Swap them in, swap them out. There's nobody that does it like Renegade Fantasy Football. Plus, the opportunity to kick Cap's ass, that's worth it just enough. Cap playing fantasy football, it's hilarious because it's like taking candy from a baby. Trust me. So let's all at least come up with the prize of beating Cap each and every week. Make sure you go to recap.renegadefantasy.com, download the app, and we look forward to playing more together. It's going to be awesome because I've always been like, God, what am I going to do? This guy's out. Nope, not anymore. Godfather says we stinks. Swayze loves it. Clyde, when is Madden 2026 coming out? Usually that comes out in July. All right, so I don't even know. It's August. August 14th, Clyde. I didn't ignore you, my friend. The Browns-Panthers over 32.5 in Browns money line. How do I know my guy Lip is a degenerate? First of all, I already knew that. Secondly, he's giving us lines for tonight's Browns-Panthers game. Over 32.5 feels good. It does feel good. 32.5. I mean, 17-16 gets you there. Lip, I might have to join you on that. Need some recap shirts for my collection. I have a Ricketts. It's cheap shirt that I only wear at home. Makes me feel good. Godfather, my man. Clark Street Sports has you covered for sure. Breck, hopefully the Guff crew has something fantastic planned for the weekend. Summer's almost over. The rest of you need to go out and touch some grass. Nerds. Yeah, no doubt about it. The Guff crew, another step forward. Let's go. Let's go. Steve S. says he's playing Madden 26 right now, Clyde. You need to know Steve S., who's got it a week in advance. Best damn chat on YouTube. Well, you guys make that happen, Godfather. Big reason for that. So Shane Smith goes out yesterday and pitches like the all-star version of himself. He allows only 2 earned runs. He goes 5 innings. I thought he outdueled Logan Gilbert as the White Sox really pissed away a chance to avoid a sweep. And you're going to laugh and go, the White Sox? You're going back to the White Sox after the Cleveland Guardians. Yes, the Cleveland Guardians. When you go back to July, when you go back to the all-star break, only the Milwaukee Brewers have a better record than the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians are 13-6 since the break. The White Sox are 8-1 on Friday night home games. Now, you're going to look. They did play a doubleheader against Cleveland before the break. They lost the first game, which technically was the Thursday game, and they won the Friday night game when they were wearing the City Connect jerseys. They're 8-1 on Friday home games. That's all I'm going to say. That's a trend I'm going to get behind. Aaron Savali, the former Guardian in the rotation, been pitching really well of late. He's going tonight for the White Sox. I'm just playing a trend here, folks, trying to turn things around. I actually want to use up all of our bad energy before football starts, so that's where we are. I like this plus 115, Savali on the bump. 8-1 on Friday home games throughout the year. 6-1 when they wear the City Connects. You do the math, folks. I like that trend. All access game tonight for sure. Something about seeing the helmets on grass with money on the line just gets the blood pumping. Jay, Caps Fantasy Football is putting in Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl. I don't even know if he knows that reference. Bo Jackson was a cheat code. God bless you, Godfather, for sure. Real talk. Jay, true, that is hilarious. Kyle, think Peter Griffin did the same thing against Cleveland Browns on Family Guy. We think alike, my man. This was the first pick I made this morning. Let's go Sox. Lip Ripper knows how I feel. I went back and I'm like, dude, this is sometimes set and forget. Yes, they've lost 4 in a row. Okay. Yesterday's game was just pathetic. 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position is pathetic. Can't happen. Can't happen. I like just being back home. Long flight, yes. Guardians playing really well, but there we go. Best Cub fans are right here on the Recap Lunch Hour. Appreciate you, Godfather. You're the one. Everyone, of course, checking out for each other. All access games on WCIU, as well as for those who don't have CHSN. Thank you for letting us know that, Alan. I forgot that the White Sox are on CIU as well. The pre-order deluxe edition is how Steve got the first advanced copy of Madden. Yeah, 8-1 on Fridays. Again, it's technically 8-2 because they lost game 1 of a doubleheader, but that's a Thursday makeup game. So Lip is right, 8-1 on Fridays. Rather than have a prostate exam, rather have a prostate. Godfather, man, dude, you are one of one. This guy out here battling every day. Jess, how do you think Sanders will do during his debut with the Browns, Guff? I'm expecting a lot of hype and not much in results. I don't know. I actually am wondering how Shedeur Sanders is going to look now that he has a chip on his shoulder. It could end up being a really good thing. I like how he's trying to quiet the noise. No Dion at camp. Guff, these need to be longer. 30 minutes is not enough. I appreciate you guys. Facts and truth, Godfather. You are a bad man. I'm okay, Becky. One day at a time, Godfather. We love you. Godfather has had a day here in the chat. There's no doubt about that. Cubs need to bring up Kevin Alcantara. He's ready. His numbers are okay. Maybe he's Colson. Maybe some of these guys are kind of flatlining at AAA because they're just like, when do I get the call? Sanders is going to win the game tonight for the Browns. Lip, he's not going to play. I mean, he's starting the game. So maybe he gets us to the over. Maybe the Browns go right down the field, score 2 tutties quick, and we're halfway to where we need to be with that 32.5. Today is definitely Godfather Day at the Recap. They did retire his number for going, 13-12 at Colorado and almost winning a bowl game? How much for a hot dog and a beer at Wrigley? I will wait to end the show until Godfather's answer that. How can he not win? How could you not win when you're just over a 500 quarterback in college and your dad's the coach? I'll let that sit out there for a minute. You guys got me all jacked up here talking. I don't know if Godfather's going to get to how much that hot dog is. Everyone have a good and safe weekend. Godfather, you too. Hot one, as Breck said, touch some grass, man. Enjoy the weather because the days are shrinking here in the summer and we're getting back to normalcy here sooner than later, which is also not a bad thing. Okay. Also not a bad thing. And Godfather, you are definitely that dude. Appreciate all of you. There's the bet of the day. We're going with the 8-1 White Sox on a Friday. 8-1 White Sox on a Friday. I don't know what other trend you need. Other than that, Upper Bowl podcast, appreciate you being here, my friend. You're going to have to go back and start the show from the beginning. We are just wrapping up. Lake Trout, same to you. Ricketts may take our money. They may take our property, but they take our happiness, but they'll never take our freedom. I absolutely love turning a movie quote into a Tom Ricketts vent. Appreciate you all for everybody at the Recap. I'm Ryan McGuffey. We'll have recaps all weekend long. We'll have the rush hour later. We'll have the Cubs and White Sox recaps later tonight. We'll have the Cubs and White Sox recaps all weekend long and a Bears recap on Sunday afternoon. Get out, enjoy yourselves, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Appreciate all of you. Appreciate this chat. Appreciate this recap family. You guys keep taking the show and moving the meters, man. The first down's getting further and further, and we're chasing them down one by one. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Appreciate you guys all greatly. It's all brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com, order.hooters.com. Pick it up, have it delivered. Either way, get the cinnamon pretzel bites and the wings, the best wings by far. You'll thank me later. Have a great night, great weekend. Appreciate all of you. Let's get the White Sox a win tonight and the Cubs too.